man, either I'm gonna die out here or I gotta change what I'm doing. And that was, high school days. And I literally removed myself from the environment that I was in and said, yo, I'm gonna square up. You know what I mean? Like, I had no problem being like, yo, let me put this corny jacket on so I can, because trying to be cool ain't paying the bills. You know what I mean? Trying to be cool is out here having cats, not seeing tomorrow. So I literally started, leaving the city that I was in and trying to, start, catching rides to Hollywood and telling people I wanted to be a comedian and that I did music and all of this stuff. And
welcome to Rare Nomads.
Rare Nomads.
The most irreverent and thought-provoking podcast that gives you a look into the lives and the minds of our culture's most interesting and inspirational people.
Welcome to Rare Nomads. I'm Jim's World.
Hi.
What up? I go by Rap is a martial art rapper and martial artist. Man, we're honored to have you on, Mr. Cannon, Nick Cannon.
What's up, brother?
It's an honor, beloved. Y'all good?
Yeah, man, I can't complain, man. Hanging in there, man. I'm out here in D.C., man.
Okay.
I'm out here in D.C. now, man. What's up? How's everything with this COVID thing? How's everything been going so far with you?
Man, like I said, as long as we maintain it, ain't no complaining. You know how we get it.
Yeah. Man, yeah. So let me fill you in real fast, bro. So that's my brother up top, Philippe. He was telling me for a minute, man, yo, you got a big personality. I want you to start this podcast thing going. He was a big fan of Corey. He booked some shows and stuff for us. I've been rocking with him for a minute, so he's helping me bring this thing to light, man.
Oh, that's love. It's love. Congratulations on the platform, y'all.
Yeah, man, I was watching you, man. You and Uncle Guns.
There it is.
Yo, I just want to say, Nick, too, since we have you on here, man, I want to thank you, genuinely for just how you've been speaking up, man, for our community. You know what I'm saying, for the Black community, and really I feel like you're putting your neck out there, taking a lot of criticism, and laying yourself down in a lot of ways for a lot of people, man. So just want to honor you, man, and thank you for your time, bro.
Nah, man, I appreciate that. Just even to take it one step further, I never want to, believe that I could speak for an entire community, but what I can do is put on for my community and create platforms and give other people to speak, the opportunity to speak and give a voice to the voiceless. So I never even like to even just jump out there and be like, oh, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. It's really like, man, I'm just trying to build as many platforms and open as many doors so our people can actually, receive what they just do. So that even in seeing y'all do y'all thing, that's what it's all about, man. Like just getting as many voices heard as possible.
Yeah,
man, that's a good thing. I learned a lot watching you, brother. You're the first person to put me on TV, man.
There it is, son of a gun.
Good, man. I told him it wouldn't be no black inks or nothing if it wasn't for Nick, man. I told him, man, wouldn't be nothing happening, man. I had a good time. I was telling Corey, man, should have kept that going, man.
Man, we wanted to, man. They loved it. That was the shift between MTV2 and MTV. Like that was that during that time. And, there's always that corporate stuff that go on, but the people love the show.
Yeah, man. I had a good time. Let me ask you a question, man. In the state of hip hop right now, right? So I'm caught in the crossfire of the mumble rapping niggas and the guys that could really rap.
Right, facts.
So my thing, me and Philippe was talking about this yesterday about Corey, like how it's so hard for him to transition and get to where he's supposed to go because the mumble rap is kind of taking over. But you think it's safe to say he should try to fall into that lane to get to where he's going or stick to what he's doing?
I mean, honestly, Corey's in a lane of his own. He's always been. I see even when, he jumped on that, 6'7", with Wayne, like he's a monster by himself. He can do any of that, but his flow and his intricacies, it's like it evolves beyond mumble, melodic, and even lyricism because he does something that I ain't never really seen too many others have the ability to do. to where he can entertain you with his cadences, but still be saying some wild shit that you be like, damn, you know what I mean? So he kind of like, it gives you, he's the best of both worlds, because that's the thing why we like the mumble rap stuff so much, is because it's so melodic, it's so vibey, that even if you don't know what they saying, you could rock with the vibe. It's like an island type of thing. But then, you know, what we love about hip hop is like it's a real voice. So Core does it his best. So I just always tell him, man, just keep doing you, dude. Like, we just want what you do.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn doing you into making it to the bank.
Yeah.
Because he's dead nice, but we having a problem getting to the fucking bank.
That's the thing. Like, it's certain people who can get there, like, and do them, like, that have always been, you know, Busta Rhymes, Eminem, like, all of them cats do them. They don't really try to jump in, but their skill level is so phenomenal that they don't have to try to follow a wave. So I just always tell them, man, just, you know how I was like, man, just get out there and do it.
You gave him that platform. You told him, go ahead, man.
Yeah, it's funny. On that note, we had a conversation. We talked to Shaq last night, and you know, we had a conversation about this. You know, I've worked with Core and you know, rap with Core, and it's like one of the things that we were talking about is, and Nick, you know about this because you have artists, is like, there's like a piece, it feels like there's a piece of the entertainment industry, specifically music, but I think it applies to all of it, that people just don't understand. Like, you see somebody like Corey, you see Young Money, or you see whoever, and you're kind of sitting there like, yo, he's got the talent, he's got the niche market, you know what I'm saying? He's got whatever. What's the missing link? What's the missing piece? Me and Jim were going back. I'd love to know your opinion. You know, a lot of times, one of the things that Shaq was talking about is the people in a life who have believed in him. You know what I'm saying? And put the stuff behind him. Like, when I, you know, just from afar, when I see you or I see somebody like Shaq, you know, no shade on anybody else, but that really believes in an artist like that. In my mind, it's like, yo, bro, it doesn't really matter if it's a label or not. You got to go with those people who have business acumen, who are going to put their total energy in you alone, because they have connections. But they have the finances they could push behind you. So what's the difference between, like, what do you think the missing piece? Is it just like, yo, get somebody, and not specifically Core, just artists like that? You know, you could think of a Joyner Lucas, who's also very technical, right? Like, dope. Yeah, is it like, yo, no, just get the financing behind you that you need, that's going to be focused on you and push it that way? Or is it you need specific label, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that missing piece where you have dope artists and they're just not breaking through?
Yeah, man, bottom line, we in the people business. And you got to know how to be people to people. You know what I mean? You got to, it's a thing where it could be a person that you know that can open doors. It could be a bunch of people that can open that door for you, but you got to connect with people in a way. And that's on the business side, but that's also on the side of like being able to have it's not about like who you know, but it's more about who knows you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. And that's real talk. That's how you catch somebody that could just pop up off of YouTube and be the next biggest star, because people start talking about them. People found this interest. So even when you have the skill set, when you have the ability to do what you need to do, the people gotta embrace you. The people gotta say, I'm rocking with that. Now, if you have a person that can get the people right, then that's how you gotta get it. Like,
what do you think is the best branding? Like, on what you're saying, what do you think is the best branding move? Like, I know, for example, you know, I even think of myself as an artist. I think about that, and it's like, a lot of times, like you said, it's the acceptance of the community. I remember, Jim, when we did the joint, and you guys came down for Paradise, Corey hadn't even heard the verse. You know what I'm saying? He came down and he looked at me crazy. He's like, yo, Jim heard the verse? Like, he was super surprised. And so it's like, you can have certain people who know what you do, but if it's like, it's not a community acceptance thing, I feel like it's different. Like, Nick could think Core is crazy, and everybody knows Core is crazy. So in two situations, Nick, when you say like certain people know who you are, but it's not a community penetration, that's one. And the other one is when you're in a situation like Core, where actually everybody who should know who you are knows who you are. What do you do now?
Yeah, gotta talk to the girls, man.
He said Jim kept it simple.
Cool way of talking. It's this. We ain't gonna hold no punches on this joint, man. He can rap, but what's missing is he don't talk to the girls. Like I know a lot of niggas that can rap and they just don't make it. It's the girls. He has to talk to the girls.
What you think, Nick? There's Griseldas out there, you know?
Nah, I think ultimately too, it goes back to what Jim makes a great point when you talk about people. You talk about consumers, you talk about audience, we know the power of women. We know the power of, you know, even if you just like, you can't just cut somebody right down the middle and say, oh, only 50% of the population rocks with them. You got to get all the people to embrace you. And just as much as the dudes who respect bars and want to hear all the lyricism and wordplay, you got to be able to have the charisma and the ability to connect with the other 50% of the population. That's the women. So, and that's even more so when you see female MCs nowadays, they have evolved to being a voice for women, but also getting the respect of the men. And that's a well-rounded artist. So that I truly believe that. I mean, obviously we all know how gifted and talented Corey is. And I feel like, you know, making the right decisions to you know, it's not trying to say, oh, go make a whole record for women, but it's just like that comes a part of your persona where you got to be like, all right, I'm gonna be able to do this and do that. So and you know, there's a lot of art, and then you know, it's even we've been stuck on this regional thing for a long time where people call somebody a New York artist or West Coast artist, down south artist. The ones that are working don't talk about what region they from. They for everybody. They for all the people.
Yeah, that's 100% fact, man. That's 100%. Nick don't get the credit for. I think Nick put the most people in position, man. Nick don't get the credit for that. I don't know nobody that put more people on.
Speak.
Man, that's what I always be saying. Like I say, yo, you know,
get it.
I'm trying to put the most people on until I'm gone. Like that's my new, that's my new goal in life, man. Like I done did everything I've ever wanted to do. And now I get more pleasure out of seeing others succeed and truly shine in that order because, you know, it's lonely at the top.
Yeah, it is, man.
Hey, Nick, could you go actually more into that, man? That's a beautiful, you're dropping some gems just right and left right now. You know, you said you've gotten everything that you wanted and now you get joy out of helping other people get there. And just, you know, I found, you know, when it comes to, you know, it's more blessed to give than to receive some, you know what I'm saying? And it's like people's value comes from adding value. And I think when people are trying to climb to the top, it's like take. And it's actually like the more you give, you got to be wise, but the more you give, the more value you have. So could you go into that, you know, like your evolution, where you are when you're saying like you want to trying to give back?
Totally. I mean, obviously when we on the grind, you got to get there. You know what I mean? Like if you got to break through the mud, you got to, you know, blaze that trail. But once you've blazed the trail and you clean and you standing on the horizon, now you like, yo, I gotta show others how I did it. So that's where so you know, everybody who's on their grind right now, focusing on them, do that. And then once you in position, now your assignment is to make sure you put other people in position. And you find the joy in that. You find, like you said, you know, you're blessed so you can be a blessing. And then that's where, you know, once you receive successes, and whether that's a monetary sense or even in the position that you're in, then you become magnified. Then people get to really see who you are. And if you really got a good heart, if you really trying to put on for your people, you'll do that. If you really on some, you know, selfish, I got here and I'm closing the door right behind me, you're going to suffocate yourself. It happens every time. I ain't never seen somebody get there by themselves and then be happy and pleasant all alone.
That's a fact.
And that's what, you know, everybody's about putting on for the community right now. Let's see who really do it. You know what I'm saying? There's cats that talk it because it sounds like it's a good soundbite, but then just look who's around them. You know what I mean? And that's the thing I always say. You definitely got to operate on that higher frequency, and everybody ain't ready for it. So you got to, you know, keep your grass cut so you can see the snakes. But in that process, you got to be able to have that vision to say, ooh, if I help that person, that they going to help the next person. They're going to help the next person. So you got to have that spirit of discernment to see who to invest your time and energy into. Yeah. Because everybody don't deserve an opportunity.
Well,
don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
you
go
got
ahead.
any regrets, Nick, in life?
Man, nah, I love my life, but you know, it's definitely some things where you could say I'll probably do that a little bit differently, but man, I've done so much. I was reflecting on this the other day, man. Like, you know, I've been in this game decades, and when to look back to still be operating in that same mode and still be able to just have fun with it and love it and like look back, man, like man,
Yeah, you did
I
it.
do it all
You
over
going? Yeah,
the same way.
you did it, boy. You did
Yeah.
it. Drumline still helped me get girls.
Right.
I
Yeah.
still go back to drumline just to see what's going on, man.
That's
This shit is crazy, man.
I wanna ask you this, Nick. This show is called Rare Nomads, and the whole idea is we want to travel through the minds of people who are brilliant because they've traveled through so many roles. You know, you're a father, you're a businessman.
yeah,
You've been putting out poetry, so you
yeah.
know
You don't get enough credit with them
you don't get
poems
it.
either,
Yeah, the
man.
Good
poems. Yeah,
looking,
thank
good
you.
looking.
Yeah, let's ring a lyrical prize for you there for
I
your
appreciate you. Yeah, nah, man. And that's the thing too. Like as artists and people, I mean, as you know, man, you got to be multifaceted. And I'm one of the people that never judge art. When you dig into the space of poetry or even visual art, that's an expression, man. That you
right.
know that lasts for so long. People don't really, they may not appreciate it when it's right there in front of you, but over a test of time, they'll be able to embrace it. And I think our music is starting to become that as well. So man, a lot of that stuff I just do it for myself for the love of the art. And then, you know, the people who understand it and who on that frequency, I appreciate them for even just opening their ears and saying, yo, that's because I mean, again, like the hip hop, we all know what it is. And even, you know, pop culture, social media, that that's what's hot right now. They're not thinking
Yeah.
about building a bigger picture, man. But I get the opportunity to even know and rub shoulders with the likes of like, man, the greats from the Stevie Wonders to like people that just are in it for the art. They ain't even doing it for the money no more. They've reached a certain level. The Quincy Jones is all they really still just do it for the art and know that they're building legacy. So I learned from them, man. Like I hope one day, you know, I always want to be as cool as possible, and we always gonna be wilding out and doing stuff to where, you know, we going viral with it. But I also got to think about when you're no longer here, what we putting in these books, what we putting, you know, for that next generation who we leave them something to be like, yo, that was poetic. Yo, that was, you know, that was prolific right there. So those are the things that I in my leisure, I do try to do that. So man, I appreciate y'all recognizing that.
That's
But
100%.
what's your in that lane, man? If you had to say like, we thinking about nomads and they travel. So for you, man, what's your origin story, man? Like as far as if there was a moment, you know what I mean? What's the story that was a moment? Like we talked to Shaq and he was talking about how he told his mom one day he's gonna make it and buy her a house, right? And
Yeah.
and she looked at him like he was kind of just playing, and she looked at him and believed him.
Right, right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And that like impact them. So for you, man, like what's your origin story? Was there a moment that you could look back that you could say, man, this is the most defining moment that drives me of who I am today?
Yeah, man. I think it was coming from nothing, really. Coming from, we all have that same story, but when you feel like it ain't no other opportunity, when everybody told you, you know, you're gonna be, you know, just like your pops, who you may not even have a relationship with, or, you know, living in them single parent households, government assistant projects, all of that. And then knowing like at a certain age, you get to a point like I can either go this way or I can go that way. And that happened for me, where it was, you know, coming up in those environments where gang banging was an everyday thing, and started losing too many people. And I was like, it was a point like, man, either I'm gonna die out here or I gotta change what I'm doing. And that was, you know, high school days. And I literally removed myself from the environment that I was in and said, yo, I'm gonna square up. You know what I mean? Like I had no problem being like, yo, let me put this corny jacket on so I can, because trying to be cool ain't paying the bills. You know what I mean? Trying to be cool is out here having cats, you know, not seeing tomorrow. So I literally started, you know, leaving the city that I was in and trying to, you know, start catching rides to Hollywood and telling people I wanted to be a comedian and that I did music and all of this stuff. And it was refreshing, man, that I come from an environment where, on the way to school, you gotta look over your shoulders, duck for cover, and to be in a different environment where none of that was even part of the thought process. That in itself, like, that was a dream come true to me, man. Like, I literally would, drive 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and get the opportunity to see, Chris Tucker and Eddie Griffin.
That's crazy.
Hang out with Jamie Foxx at his studio at his house, and like that. And I go back to the hood, people wouldn't even believe me. You know what I mean? Like, at that time, I was famous for hanging out with famous people. Like, I wasn't. That's all I wanted. Like, that was like, in the hood, they were like, "Yo, he know Jamie Foxx." You know what I mean? Like, and I was good with that. Like, and and really getting the opportunity just to see the next day. And then because I started putting myself in those environments and appreciating those environments, I started making a way out of no way. I started turning those things, and this is, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. But, you go from hustling and moving around in your neighborhood to then, and, everybody doing that in your neighborhood. I wasn't special in the hood. You know what I mean? We just trying to, figure out a way to scam a new pair of Jordans or some, you know what I mean?
I'm still scamming Jordans.
I go, like, we was just trying to, put food on the table, help moms pay rent. And then you can go to a place, 2 hours away, and cats are millionaires. And that opened my eyes, man. Like, the things that I grew up joking around doing, I can actually buy my mom a house. I can actually get my grandma out the projects. Like, that was that turning point for me.
That's great. Yo, bro, I want to ask the question. What's the most silliest thing you spent your money on?
Oh, man. I'm still spending my money on silly chicks.
I was thinking
Future baby mama mobiles.
Future baby mama.
You can't put everybody in a G-Wagon.
No, you cannot.
I done bought way too many G-Wagons.
I asked Shaquille, I said, yo, I got to ask you that too, because you've been in it for a minute too. What do you consider broke?
When you owe people. Simple. You owe people, you ain't got no money.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hell of an answer. That's the best answer I heard.
That's what I encourage everybody, because it ain't even about the amount. You know what I mean? I know cats that's driving Rolls Royces.
That are broke, right?
Big ass houses, and even cats that we looked up to that we seen go bankrupt, and you thought they're like, yo, because they owed people. They owe, whether you owe the government, whether you owe the lease guy, whether you owe the mortgage guy, but you can live comfortably in your means. You might got one car, and that joint might be a Toyota. You might, but you paid that joint off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may have, one nice house, one nice condo, but it's yours. It's in your name. You ain't got no payments. That's wealth. That's rich. That you could take that. If you wasn't here, you can give that whole thing to somebody else that you want. You die and you giving debt to your family. You know what I imagine? Like, you die and now your family owe because of you.
You dead and they mad at you.
You died and you done made some more people broke trying to keep up with your lifestyle. I've seen it happen, man. Real talk. That's what, and we all trying to, keep up with the Joneses, man. Like, when you really got money, or not even got money, when you really wealthy is when you don't owe nobody nothing.
Let me ask you this, Nick.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
like, it ain't a number. It ain't a number. It's just about
crazy.
Yeah. Constant.
Well, you mentioned some things, man. You talked about, silly stuff you spend money on, but you also talked about discerning, who to help, who not to help, that type of thing. So what that means to me is, you're really looking around and assessing your situation, but also loyalty, right? So
Mm.
how would you define, or how would you tell the difference, right? How do you tell the difference between somebody who's loyal and they're not loyal before the betrayal?
That's easy. I mean, that's all I always say. Like, niggas want to be solid, but they ain't solid. I think everybody wants to be loyal. Everybody wants to, we know all of the characteristics of being a good individual, being solid, but it's really just the cloth you cut from. You can see a snake from far away, just how they move. And I honestly, man, like, I've never had an issue. Like, I kind of, like you said, you operate off of that spirit of discernment when you just know a good person. I've obviously a lot of things, betrayal will come when, if people are too thirsty, but the core of somebody, you can see from where it is, like, oh yeah, that person, if I do help that person is going to do the right thing. They're gonna show the passion. They're gonna not let it go unwarranted with their gratefulness. But then also, because some people, they can be grateful, but they'll still be lazy. You know what I mean? And then now we're just sitting here wasting energy. But when somebody's grateful and they're gonna take that baton and run with it, those are the people that you help. And you'll see that in people's work ethic. You'll see that in how hungry they are. Like, I always tell people, it's the difference between being hungry and thirsty. You know what I mean? Like, hungry, them cats is ready
That's
to
another
eat.
bar.
Yeah.
Just bars all day, man.
Gonna sit back and drink you broke. You know what I mean? But hungry, they gonna go find where the food is.
Nick might. I just met Nick right now. He might get mad at me after this. He might hear a rap song, and I just got Nick dropping
all kind of bars.
Go ahead. That's what they for, man.
I'm dropping all kind of bars. Like,
that's what they there for.
This guy's brilliant. Where has he been?
Man. So Nick, what's next? What's next? I know you got a bunch of shit going on.
Yeah, man. I just been trying to stay out the way and keep low, because when you don't hear from me too much, we cooking up, we preparing. So we got a couple of movies that's about to drop top of the year. Currently we in the season of Masked Singer, for the mass media market, for middle America. They love and embrace it. That's the #1 show on television. So I'm host and executive producer of that. So that's a full-time job. But still doing what we doing, podcasting, radio shows, syndicated radio shows.
Your podcast is crazy too.
Yeah, good looking. Candace class is going all the way up, man.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, and then I don't want to brag on it, but like we got
no brag, nigga, brag.
Nah, we got a lot of stuff that's about to drop, man, and even when people were saying they missed the energy, that we used to from us is really about to return, 10 times fold. So it's we've been sitting back strategically plotting this chess game.
Yo, niggas can learn a lot if they watch you, man.
Yeah.
They'll learn a lot. You do not get the credit.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna give it to you, man. I tell niggas all the time, they be, yo, who's the most person? I said, Nick. Nick pulled up on 174th Street. Phantom, Nick. They said, who's the first time you put a suit on? Nick, tuxedo, walking around. Nick.
Yeah, I got that joint on my wall still in the office with the son of a gun photo. That joint fire.
I said Nick put niggas in position where Cole was on a TV show, signed the deal, and was on a good feature.
Yeah. Laid up. He had to lay up.
Nick.
Nick, what would you say? What would you say, man, is your biggest spiritual encouragement? Right? The thing that encourages you the most spiritually, like gives you the most hope, love, whatever. And then also your biggest spiritual disappointment.
Man, I'd say obviously learning to be still. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, even Minister Farrakhan said that to me and kind of like redefined it and actually gave me the confirmation. Because when shit get noisy, You know, like even if you doing something, doing dirt, like and you hear something, you freeze up. You still, because that giving you that opportunity to assess the situation. Like even like if you in a fight or whatever, you sparring in combat, the more still you are, that gives you the best perception of what's going on. If you moving too quick, you never know where something gonna come from. And then even just as simple as meditation, when you still and you know how to calm all of your energy, that's when you get that clarity. So spiritually, man, wherever you get, just be still. You know what I mean? And that's where you'll get your clarity from. And I would say spiritually disappointment. I mean, I'm one of them people who've really just been a connoisseur of just understanding and wisdom, and there's definitely some times where people will put their religion before spirituality. And you know, even in my recent times, man, people who I thought were solid, people I thought were genuine spiritually, they've allowed the religious gang banging to get in the way of the spirituality. Yeah. The sect they belong to. The sects have become sets. You know what I mean? Cats
come on with them bars, man. Stop.
Like cats really out here like religious gang banging, and it's like, you know, you have love and reverence. We supposed to all be serving the same Most High, but we let, you know, what denomination we belong to actually get in the way of being a solid individual.
You know, it's funny. You said that one of the thoughts. Oh, before I forget, man. You know, I told you. You know, I don't know if Jim told you. Every guest who comes on a show got to spar me.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah. Hey, we said it here, man. So we getting the Nick Cannon.
I don't know how many
martial art.
Yeah, how many?
You see the weapons.
I see you. I got that.
And niggas a black belt, Nick.
How many different art forms?
I started out with judo when I was 6, because my dad was at one of the first MMA schools around here, so we used to watch all the martial arts movies. Then I did taekwondo, but that felt like a belt factory. You know what I mean? It just felt like a commercial, whatever. And then, you know, I fell in love with Shaolin Kung Fu, so I did that for a long time. And then at one point, it was 5 to 7 hours a day. You know, and yeah, bro. So
I'm trying to think. I started off taekwondo. You know, I got the black belt now, but like you said, that you can pay for that. I got that when I was like 12. Then we got into boxing. Jim got hands. I know Jim. Jim got hands. I was boxing like a kid. I probably boxed, you know, all the way up through high school. Then, you know, I got introduced to White Lotus Kung Fu. So, you know, I kind of went all the way, got all my cautious in that.
I didn't know that.
Hold up. Does anybody know this about Nick? So, Nick, this is, you know, we got to get the RZA. We got to get me. We got to get you. We got to get Lupe. Everybody.
So you got Lupe, Wiz in there. I've been doing Muay Thai for like the last 5 years.
It's a tournament.
And then, you know,
Nick, I ain't know none of that.
Yeah, in Jersey, we get down in the ninjutsu stuff. That's where I live. That's where I really. So I'm really on that. So I got about 6 different languages and spiritualities that I speak with these hands.
Here we go. Hey, it's a tournament. It's never been seen before. We got it right here, man.
Hey, Les, there's a lot that goes down up under this turban.
So on a more serious note, Nick, you said something like you talked about denominations, you talked about being still. One of the things for me, Jim and I talk about this, we know this, and this is something that's always on my heart when I have conversations with people. You know, I always open up with this because this is part of my heart, but it's like, you know, lost a family member to suicide, you know, lost one of our kids, and back and forth to the hospital nonstop. And so just a lot of losses. So one of my things is like, you know, I believe, you know, God designed the universe, and the thing that unifies us the most is love, you know, and the way that we could see the destructive nature of humanity is how it's so easy for us to hate one another, whether it's skin color, whether it's social status, whatever. You could see that there's a breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Even between a father and a son, when the father's not there, it's like we all feel traumatized because it's a breakdown. Like it's not supposed to be that way. And so, you know, one of the things I think about a lot, you know, is you think about legacy, what you leave. You talked about that, but also, you know, growing up, being from Haiti, you know what I'm saying? But then being all around Chinese martial arts, I had Buddhism, Hinduism. I had most of my best friends were Muslim. you know what I'm saying? I had a Christian friend. He used to bring me the Bible, and I could take 5 minutes and give him a contradiction. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just, I was skeptical by nature. I would just do that, whatever. And, at one point for me, it was like, I got to a dark place, and I started kind of just crying out to God. And my thing was like, God, whatever I come up with, whatever feels good to me, just because it feels good, just because it sounds right, just because it fits me, doesn't make it true, right? Like I could believe with all my heart that Nick is from Colombia.
Right.
No matter how hard and how genuine I believe it, it's not going to make him from Colombia, right? And so I was like, you know what I mean? And so I started crying out. So to your point, one of my things was like, I saw people on TV is like, y'all selling miracle water? Really? I'm like 7 years old. I know y'all lying. Like you got miracle water?
I believe in miracle water.
Yo, hold up, Jim. So hold up.
I believe in that.
Okay, man. Yo, Jim, you mean to tell me you got miracle water and you're selling it, bro? So if I
believe in that.
Hold up, get to the bag.
Bro, if you have miracle water, you need to go to a hospital and throw that crap on everybody walking around, bro.
Everybody miracles don't work for everybody, man. My miracle water work, man.
we need your miracle water, Jim. But
it's all about what you believe in.
But my point is this: like, I could be in a highway, right? I want to know what y'all. I could be in the middle of the highway and believe on my heart that there ain't cars there. I'm still gonna get hit.
Yeah.
You could believe you ain't gonna catch these hands, but I'm gonna turn you into a believer. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so on that note, man, like
it's faith, foolishness, and presumptions. You know what I mean? You gotta understand what you put faith into and how deep you want to go, because it really, in my lifestyle, man, I'm just trying to blend in with the molecules. We're all made from the same stuff that the suns and stars is made from. So however we all know energy never dies. Right. So it's what dimension you choose to see things in. And a lot of us get caught. I mean, we come from it. We come from where we lose loved ones often. One thing that you can't deny is death is real, but how do you define death?
Absolutely.
And in that process, we know, I truly believe, eternal powers and eternity kind of function together within this universe. And like you said, man, like, they call it a universe because it talks about being oneness. That's where the same root of the word unity comes from. And we all unilaterally move through this process. So it's just really how you see it and how you choose what frequency you choose to operate on and stand firm in. So all of those things, man, like those are things that just at the end of the day, it's what you view as spirituality and what eye you choose to see things through.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, you believe in karma?
The true word, what the true definition of karma is, people think karma means what goes around comes around. That ain't true.
That's what I thought.
Nah, karma is actually a Hindu practice where it actually is talking about just what I was saying, like the return of life, the reciprocal nature. And that's what, it has a lot to deal with reincarnation. They believe like the life that you're living right now is because of something another life that you lived in the past. So we be in this position that we in right now is karmatic in a way, because we've lived these lives. We're supposed to get something out of this journey that we didn't get out the last journey. Or we're paying for something in this journey for something that we did in the last journey. That's what karma really is. So I definitely believe that. That's real energy. But I don't believe in what goes around comes around type shit.
Yeah, I don't believe in that neither. I think God sent me all the girls that was whores because he wanted me to treat them bad. That's what I told myself. If God gave them to me, he want me to do bad.
And if you act in a certain way, I'm only I always tell you, I can't respect your pussy more than you do.
Yo, Jim, what you said is real. That's dope, though. What you said is really important, though. I think one of the easiest things, I think, for me, the realization that I had, there's, for me, it's like we're all artists here. To some level, we're all artists. So when you're an artist, you design things, right? When you design things, when you look at the universe, like Nick said, it's so well designed, bro. Like, we have a ball of fire right now, just keeping us alive. It's just a ball. It's like a fairy tale. We on a marble somewhere in the universe, and there's a ball of fire just levitating, Just nobody turns it
Because
on.
all on one accord.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing is like what one of the things I realized is one of the ways that bump that. I just want to get straight to this is like one of the things that going back to love for me that's so mind blowing as I was studying different spiritual paths. One of the things that was mind blowing for me is the definition of love, right? People say God is love, this is this. And for me, one of the things that me and Jim talk about this, one of the things that I think about the most is like one of the ways you could define love the best. And I use this analogy all the time, but the analogy that comes to mind is always like, I could tell you, let's say you didn't know your father, you know what I'm saying? But your mom told you two things about him. He's like, he loves you to death and he's a brave man. He just couldn't be around at war, whatever. All of a sudden you're Nick Cannon, or all of a sudden, you're Jim from Rare Nomads. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, 7 dudes show up to your house and they all say good stuff. We all know the best liars tell you mostly truth. That's why you believe them. like they got to tell you the truth, otherwise you're not gonna believe them.
The lies in.
Exactly. So you sneak them in, exactly.
Hey,
so
Nick, ain't it evil to live backwards?
Those are the first bars.
So it's like so 7 of them are there, so 6 of them got to be lying. And then I pull out a gun, I shoot at Jim. One of the dudes jumps in front of the bullet. Now you can get really intellectual with it and give a bunch of reasons, but most of us would be like, I'm at least going to research this dude. This is the first dude I'm going to do a DNA test. The guy who jumped in front of the bullet, because either he's crazy or he loves me because he was willing to sacrifice for me. At the end of the day, I could go outside, get in a fight with you. You could tell me you love me. If they jump me and you run, I'm not sure you love me, bro. Like
I had a couple of niggas run on me. I don't know about that.
Yeah. It's like, okay, maybe, but I'm not going out with you anymore. So one of the biggest things is love is defined by sacrifice. And Nick, I know you thought about this, about this, but for me, one of the biggest things that was annoying growing up in church, I would tell people this, like, I would ask Christians, I'd be like, yo, why Jesus come? To die for my sins. I'd be like, yo, why he have to die? That's weird. Can't he just wave his wand? Like, what you talking about? Why do you have to die? And you saying he's the one way, blah, 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 blah. And the thing that blew my mind, Nick, bro, as I was crying out to God, and I told you before, it was like, this Christian thing's nonsense. And I know all the reasons why. I used to tell people, but the thing that blew my mind and hit me real hard is like, if God is love, shouldn't he have the greatest display of sacrifice? Shouldn't it be obvious? Shouldn't it be
in the church?
Yeah, no, real. Forget church. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even
talking facts.
Yeah, I'm not even talking. I'm literally talking like one day. This is cool. We on Rare Nomads, but one day, like Nick said, energy doesn't die. So one day we're gonna be passed away. Whether you believe in reincarnation, whether you believe in heaven or hell, right? If you take the theme of heaven and hell, for example. This is from a person who used to diss the Bible. One of the scriptures that blew my mind is Romans 6:23. Nick, I bet you know this is like the wages of sin is death.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wages of sin is death. And so as I looked at my life, I was like, all right, by my standard, I'm good. By God's standard, I'm so far from this joint. Like I'm so far, lust, all these things. But the thing that blew my mind was like, it don't stop there. And people who act super self-righteous miss the point. Like if I look at any faith with respect to all of them, if I look at any faith, the place where you should be less prideful is the one spot that's telling you so sinful, you need a savior. Like how could I be proud and look down on you when my whole thing is, yo, I'm so jacked up. No matter how many good stuff I do, I still need help. Like, you know what I mean? And so that's the thing that was mind blowing to me about Christ is like the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. It's like when you want to marry a girl, you go buy her a ring. You come down, you bend.
Not me, man.
Nah, you done that, Jim. Yeah, you bent
it, and I took it back.
Yeah,
over,
okay. But you bent down on one knee and you gave it to her. So it's like
no, she proposed to me.
Right. Nobody's as special as Jim, but point being is like to me is mind blowing the fact that there's a story out there anywhere that the designer of the universe loved us so much that he was like, nah, y'all sinful, like y'all don't deserve to be up here. But I love you so much, I'm gonna take a bullet for you. And the only way you're getting in is it's a gift. Like it's like everybody trying to climb up a mountain, but the God of the universe is like, I love y'all. I'm gonna come down the mountain. But everybody else is like, nah, we got to climb up to get better and do all this. And he's like, yo, I love you. I'm not trying to create a freaking a maze. You got to do this and you got to do that and all this stuff to get up here. Like, I must not love you. So that was the mind-blowing thing for me that stuck out. And I always leave that just as a food for thought. I know you already thought about all this, Nick, but for me, I always felt it's like the way I know best how to show love, man. It's like, you know, if God really loves us and he did that to show us, it changes everything. I know a bunch of people in church who don't understand it. That changes everything. I'm not going to look down on people, and I'm going to live my life of gratitude because I'm going to be like, yo, God did this for me. Dang.
God tell me
my
to do
worst day is the best
thing
thing.
and good things, man. I think everything I do, God told me do it, man.
And that's why you can't go with what you think because of Jim.
I feel like I'm
because
in
of
church,
Jim.
man.
That's why you can't.
Real street nigga, he just be like, yo, I swear to God.
I do something bad. God told me do that, man.
Oh man, whoever Jim's God is, stay away, y'all. Stay away on that.
Jim said he know what it is. He said he is God.
Yeah.
yo, Nick. No, that's the scariest thing I ever heard, bro. I know what you're trying to say, but
it's working. It worked for me, man. It's working, man. It's working. Hey, Nick, I got a question. What's your favorite city to visit?
To visit?
Wait. Single Nick. What's your favorite city to visit?
Oh, yeah. That's like Jamaica all day. I don't know if that's a city. I would say Kingston. I was like, Jamaica is different, yo. The energy down there, just the women, how beautiful everything is. Jamaica, like, and it's so, I feel a real connection there. Like, that's probably like something where I feel like it's far, but I'm still connected. Like, I feel like I left, but I'm still at home. Like, 'cause sometimes, like, I like normalcy. Like, so if I'm somewhere and I can't speak the language, like, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like, if it's, I need to feel like it's a getaway, but it's still the crib. So probably Jamaica.
When's the first time you went to Jamaica?
Oh man, when was the first time? Like somewhere early 2000s. We did a whole film down there in like 2015. King of the Dance Hall. Like that's what, like, man, Jamaica.
You got a bunch of movies I didn't even know you had. I was just on the internet one day like, oh shit, Nick did that.
Yeah. Now that's again, yo, go back, like, it's the poetry, it's the art, man. I'm just stacking these joints. I'm one of them cats, man. Like, you know, I go back and study Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, even like Richard Pryor, Sammy Davis Jr. Like, I didn't get put up on they stuff until most of them was, you know, retired, gone doing their thing. So I feel like I get the opportunity to do that. I just keep working, and hopefully, you know, cats just respect and appreciate my catalog for generations.
You got a catalog, man.
Yo, Nick, to your point, man.
You got one.
Help us break this down, man. When you're doing movies and you're doing things like that, like the difference between a movie blowing up, right, and then it just being a dope piece of art. Like, would you say the biggest difference is marketing dollars? Would you say
that's all it is? Like, who's the person to say something's good or something's whack? Or, you know what I mean? Like, again, it's about the people. If you put something in the people, like, man, we as a culture, we embrace bout it. They niggas shot that shit on a video camera. You know what I'm saying? But we said, yo, we rock with this. The people spoke on that. And then you'll see something that'll cost, you know, $200, $300 million to make, and it'd be trash. Like, but if they put the right marketing around it, they'll call it sensation. But, you know, so usually, man, like, I do it, like, if it says something, if it makes you feel, and that's art. Right? You can't really knock it. If you got to have a conversation about it, if it made you laugh, cry, as long as it made you feel, that's what I rock with. And as long as it tells a story, that's what's like, as whether it's music, whether it's stand-up, whether it's TV, movies, if you telling it, that's our job as storytellers. That takes us all the way back to the motherland, where there was a certain job. That's how you pass history on. That's how you pass culture and legacy.
Yeah, the wordsmiths, the storytellers.
Yeah, through storytelling.
Would you, if you were an artist, Nick, knowing what you know about the entertainment industry, would you rather sign to a big label?
He is an artist. If you were an artist,
he's an artist. He's way more. He's way more than that, though. Would you rather sign
about
to
10 different hats he wearing?
Yeah. Would you?
I've had labels. I've signed the labels. I mean, I've started labels. I've done it.
So would you rather sign to one, or would you rather have somebody with a lot of money in the industry say, "I'm gonna put all my attention on you"?
I'd rather rock with somebody who know what they're doing, who knows who. It ain't about, you know, money. Because I've seen a lot of people waste a lot of money. I saw some really rich people like just try to throw money at it. They just don't know what they're doing. You can't throw, especially the music industry. If you don't know what you're doing, money don't matter. So I'd rather get with people who know, who've created stars before and who people trust. It's certain things like, it's certain things. Reason why Wayne could turn somebody up. The reason why Drake can turn somebody up. The reason why Jay, Kanye, all of these people could turn. It's not because of the money that they got. It's not even because they in a major system. It's because the people trust their brand. The people say, I rock with, I love everything this person does, and if he co-signs this person, he must be dope. He must be. So I'm rocking with what they
That's
doing.
what I said yesterday to you.
Yeah.
Drake do a record with a nigga gone.
Yeah, because they respect Drake's brand. They know if Drake rock with it, it's dope.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
All right.
Not enough bars. I gave y'all the bars I got for one night. I ain't got no more.
Appreciate you, man. There was a lot of bars, man. Appreciate you, man.
Nah, no doubt.
You set the tone, bro. I appreciate you, man. Like I said, you the first person to put me on TV, man.
Oh man, hey, this is a powerful platform too, man. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all should be proud of just the opportunity, the conversation, and brothers having real conversation. There ain't a lot of that out there.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank
you for being on the Rare Nomads show, man. Y'all don't need to know where to find Nick Cannon, but Nick, could you let people know where to find you on your IG or wherever?
And wherever my name at, that's where I'm at.
Right. Jim, Jim, let the people know, man. Jim, let the people know.
I'm at your mama house. They know where to find me at, nigga. They know where to find me.
All right. Well, in case you don't know where to find Jim, at Jim's World on Instagram.
At Jim's World too, man. I know where to find me. Nick, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I see you when we get back to LA.
Man. Y'all stay up, beloved.
Hey, Nick, I'm gonna stay in touch with you for that sparring session, bro.
Hey, for real, man.
We could do it in private just for fun.
We got gyms out here in LA, but I'm actually looking to build a gym on the East Coast in Harlem. So we definitely gonna figure out how to get it going eventually.
What's up, man? At Rap is a Martial Art. Find me. Rap is a Martial Art. Hey, thank you, Nick.
Peace, beloved.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Rare Nomads. Please make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. It's Rare Nomads with a K. Make sure you visit our website for exclusive fashion. And to see the video version of this episode, make sure you go to YouTube and type Rare Nomads.